Oh shit. I was supposed to review a movie, huh? It's been a really long fucking weekend. It's Drewski McGillicuddy's Intruder movie review. I'm going back to sleep. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and I finally watched a movie that I've been anticipating watching for 3 years. That's right, this movie came out in 2015, and I've been waiting to see it, but for one reason or another, it never came to Redbox by me. It was never on streaming, and I wasn't just going to buy a movie that I hadn't seen. And I don't know if this came to theaters or not. But anyway, I'm talking about Intruders, okay? And this movie is about this woman who suffers from agoraphobia, and she lives in this old, like, mansion-type house. It's a big-ass house, okay? And she lives there with her brother, and he's dying of cancer. And apparently, something happened in her past that makes her the way she is, and we don't find that out until later on in the movie, and it's somewhat of a spoiler, so I'm going to try not to spoil this movie, since I know a lot of people probably haven't seen it yet. Now, I remember seeing the trailer for this, and I thought it came out in theaters, but it must have skipped the theaters by me, or it came to like the art house theaters. And I remember when this first came out, it had like a 7-something on IMDb. Well, now it's got a 5.7. And when I watched it, I just couldn't put my finger on why the score would drop so low over. I didn't look at any of the reviews. I just looked at the number overall. And this movie is definitely better than a 5.7. So anyway, so she suffers from agoraphobia, and she doesn't like going outside. Well, her brother passes away, and fuck, I'm getting ahead of myself. Is it Rory Culkin? It's one of the Culkins. I'm pretty sure it's he looks like a Culkin. But anyway, he plays this guy. He's a Meals on Wheels guy that delivers the food because she won't leave the house, but she's got to stay there and take care of her brother. So she gets Meals on Wheels, and he delivers it. And then one day, she offers him all this money, because they have this deep conversation about how he'd like to just get out or whatever and run away because after her, oh yeah, I guess it is after her brother finally passes. She talks about she can't leave. She doesn't necessarily tell him she's agoraphobic or whatever. She just tells him, this is my home. How could I leave? Could you leave? And he talks about how he wants to, but financially he can't. So she offers him this big paper brown bag full of money, okay? And he declines. He respectfully says, no, I cannot accept this. Well, then the next day, the funeral for her brother's taking place, and she can't go because she's afraid to go outside because she's agoraphobic. That's what the movie's about. All right? Well, these 3 guys break into the house because they heard in passing that this bitch has a whole bunch of money in a brown paper bag. So these guys are looking for this fucking money. Well, guess what the movie's actually about? These 3 guys are breaking into this house to steal this paper bag full of money, and they done broke into the wrong motherfucking house. Okay? This is not the house that you, like, this girl's not what she seems. But it played out different than what the trailers let on. There's a whole story arc to the whole thing. And this movie's not action-packed and bloody and gory like I thought it was going to be. It's subtle. It's somewhat realistic. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. It wasn't nothing. I mean, it was somewhat original, but it wasn't anything mind-blowing. I really liked all the performances, and I'm pretty sure this guy with the beard, if I can even find the fucking picture, I'm pretty sure it's the guy that played Krug. I was trying to research the shit. I was actually trying to do my fucking homework, people. But apparently Sprint, once you use so much data on an unlimited data plan, they make your phone run slow as shit. And it doesn't get any fucking reception anywhere other than your house with your Wi-Fi. Like, I can't go to Skyline and use their Wi-Fi because Sprint is a bunch of bullshit. But anyway, that's beside the point. So these guys, they break into this house and they tie her up. They're wanting to know where the money is, and blah, 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 and all this bullshit. Well, one thing leads to another. and one of them winds up dead. And if you've seen the trailer, you know she drags his body down in the basement, and then these guys hear it, and they're looking for the guy, and then their dumbasses walk down into the basement. But why would they suspect that it's not a good idea to go into the basement of this woman who's afraid to go outside? Because there is a scene where the guy with the beard, he's being a cocksucker. He wants to smack her with a hammer. He's talking about, oh, we can't let you live. She's seen her face and blah, 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 blah. But there's a scene where he picks her up. He finds out she's agoraphobic. So he's like, you mean to tell me I could leave this door open and leave the room and I'll come back and you'll still be here? So then he picks her up and he drags her outside. And just, I love, like, this movie was very well directed. It's very well directed. Is that how the phrase? It's directed really good, okay? I really like the directing in this movie. I like the cinematography, I like the editing, you know, the transition, all that good stuff. But this scene in particular, when he takes her outside, you get to kind of see through her eyes what going outside's like for an agoraphobic. Like, everything's pulsating and warbly, and it's disorienting. And he leaves her out on the porch, and then she pees her pants. So they take her back in, and then they tell, there's the three guys, two of them are brothers, and the one guy tells his brother, take her upstairs and get her cleaned up. So he takes her upstairs to get her cleaned up. That's when all the hoo-ha happens, and then she drags him into the basement, and then them back to when them dumbasses go down in the basement. Well, guess what? She's got this little remote control, and there's doors that open with the remote, and the stairs to the basement retract into the wall. So now they're trapped in the basement. Well, Daniel had happened. See, I didn't even tell you his name. Daniel's the guy from Meals on Wheels. He shows up before all this stuff happens, and yeah, he's got a little arc, because he was going to check on her after her funeral. Well, this bitch don't trust this dude anymore because he happens to know the guys that are doing this, and then she throws his ass in the basement. Hashtag slight spoiler. But yeah, just, I'm going to leave it there. It's these guys trying to get out of the basement, and then the story unfolds. You find out why she is the way she is, and you find out why she has this basement with these trap doors and hidden doors and all this weird shit going on. But when you find that out, it's like, it's somewhat original. I mean, yeah, I've never seen anything quite like it. And the third act, it's not anything marvelous or whatnot, but it's satisfying enough. I mean, this movie's, fuck. I liked it. I really liked it. I mean, like I said, it's nothing mind-blowing. It's not like, it wouldn't have been my best of the year, but it's definitely something that I'll probably watch again. And hey, maybe I'll like it better the second time. I don't know. But like I said, I liked all the performances. Like, even the bad guys, it's like they weren't so bad. I mean, the guy with the beard was just, he was an asshole. But I liked his character, his personality. I don't know. There's something about him. He was cool, but he was an asshole because he's trying to steal this bitch's money. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and rate this movie. I don't want to give anything away too much. I just want you to get to the basement. And then once you're in the basement, then, you know, you can see where it goes from there. But yeah, the ending is still pretty good overall. It wasn't... All right, I'm just going to keep stumbling, so I'm just going to go ahead and rate the motherfucker. I can't think of nothing creative, so we're just going to give it a silver star. Bam! Thank you, ma'am. Real quick, I just want to say, opening night at the Dead Schoolhouse, opening weekend, I should say, was pretty rough. I don't think it's ever been as hot as it was, which is weird because it had cooled off like the week before we opened. It was only like 60 to 70 degrees all week. For some reason, it decided it's going to go back up to 87 degrees 2 days before we open, and now it's 100 motherfucking degrees in that motherfucker. We had 4 motherfuckers pass out on Friday night, and then we had a bunch of people had to go to the hospital on Saturday night, and one of them happened to be one of the girls in my scene, because there's a little secret door that I use so that I can pop up in front of and behind people, and they wonder how the fuck I got there. Well, there's a little secret door. Don't fucking tell anybody. But she had peeked her head around the door, knowing that I was going to come through there at 45 to 55 mile an hour, okay? And bam! I hit this girl in the head with this steel door so fucking hard, and she just looked at me like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you all right? And she's like, don't worry about it. Just go get him. She wasn't concerned with herself. She was concerned with scaring the fuck out of these people, and the only way to do that was for me to just run. But Jesus Christ, I've never seen, the knot on her head was, I should have took a fucking picture of it. It was insane. This fucking big. It looked like my middle finger. It was like this long, this wide, and this depth. But holy shit, I almost started crying. But no, she never once acted like she was hurt at all. She was just like, oh, go get him. And I'm like, no, you need an ice pack. You need to go sit down. Can I get a medic? So yeah, they took her to the ER. Hopefully she didn't have a concussion. I am really sorry, but you should have known not to stick your head there, man. Anyway, so yeah, that was a fun little story. And then somebody else busted their head open out in the slaughter yard. It's like, come on, man. Safety first. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that bullshit. And then maybe I'll make another Tales from the Dent Schoolhouse next weekend. And maybe I'll try to, I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Leave me alone. I'm going to bed.